Well, I know I asked you about the provost search before, but I was wondering, what other issues did you kind of walk into with the presidency? Was there anything else that needed your immediate attention when you got here?
Well, there are always things in the office of the president, as you can imagine. This is a big, complex university, so there's always a lot going on. There are little things, well, not little necessarily, but things that come up that you don't anticipate. When I first got here, it was the summertime. I thought, well, this will be a relatively calm time on campus, and the next thing you know, we had major storms on campus. You probably know we had a big windstorm that did some damage, and then we had flooding on campus. And who thought that that was something that you were going to have to be dealing with and thinking about over the summer? But the amazing thing was to see how quickly our people responded. And is over the weekend and early in the morning, I would come out onto campus and I would see these teams of people who are already on top of it, already taking care of things because they take pride in their work, and they were able to respond really quickly. So, that's an example of the kind of thing that comes up all the time at a university like this, and we've got to be constantly prepared for the unexpected, the unanticipated, and that was a really good example. There'll be lots of things like that, I'm sure, during the course of my time here, but those were things that happened just as soon as I got here.
Yeah. I know earlier one of the other media sources had asked you kind of about your past experiences with the law, and you were very involved with that, and that's kind of your mindset. And I know you said that you kind of have your own law teams. You're not really going to delve into that,
right.
But it does give you, a different perspective than
Sure.
maybe some past presidents have had, just
Right.
when looking at different situations and
Right.
with problem solving. So how do you think that's going to help you?
Sure. Well, I think having a legal background, for me, one of the things that it did was it helped me to see issues from different perspectives. We learn when you have legal training to look at the facts, to look at the evidence, to try to gather information, to understand that context matters, that you won't always come to the same answer depending on the context and the circumstances. So to be able to ask a lot of, one of the things lawyers do, they actually ask a lot of questions and a lot of probing questions to try to develop the facts and the circumstances to understand them. And so I think bringing that kind of mindset, and a mindset where not being afraid to ask the hard questions and make sure that we've thought about things from different angles, is something that I hope that I will bring to the leadership of the university. But also the importance of structure. And lawyers care about the structure of a democracy and having rules that we live by, but also understanding when there need to be exceptions to rules. And so I think being able to probe and ask those types of questions and be methodical and logical about it, I hope that those are some of the strengths that I can bring. It's the last thing I would say. I've always prided myself as a lawyer, when I have been acting in that capacity, to help people get to yes. I always saw it as my job to be of service, to try to help people to accomplish their goals. So sometimes you hear, the knock on lawyers is, gee, they just say no, right? They just tell you all the things you can't do. Well, I always took pride in helping people find out what they can do and how to accomplish their goals. Now, maybe it's not the first idea that they had. There may be 2 or 3 other ways of getting to where they want to get to. But that was the kind of work that I always tried to do with the people that I interacted with at Michigan and at Rutgers. And so that kind of can-do approach and attitude is something that I'm certainly striving to bring to the job as president, and that I hope all of us in the administration will have.
Great. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. Great to be with you.